Congratulations. Welcome to my castle. Whew. Well, the castle isn't really mine, but I pretty much run things around here. Right now, I'm scampering about, preparing for a banquet. Afraid this place needs a lot of work. We've been waiting on the king. He's been away tending to important businessy business, treaties and such, I imagine. When he returns, we'll have a tremendous celebration. And just in time for Christmas, too. Speaking of Christmas, and waiting, and kings, did you know that King Jesus is the reason we celebrate Christmas? And before he was even born, people were already waiting for his arrival. It's true. There was a great king named David. Oh, not groundskeeper David. You know that man never bathes. It's dreadful. No, this David was the ruler of Israel. God promised him that one of his future relatives would rule forever, and God was talking about Jesus. Even though God said it, there were times it didn't seem like it would ever happen. The kingdom of Israel was split in two, each part captured by big empires, and many of the Israelite people were forced to leave their homes. Oh, it's just dreadful. One of those Israelites was a man named Daniel. He had to go live in a place called Babylon. God was faithful to Daniel and gave him the ability to understand dreams, if you can believe it. One night, he had a very strange dream. Some of it was even scary. But an angel explained that the dream was actually full of hope. Here's what happened. First, Daniel saw the winds of heaven stirring up the great sea. In those days, people were afraid of the sea, especially with the waves sloshing all over the place. Can't say as I blame them. For Israelites far away from home, this might have been what life was like in Babylon. Sloshy. Next, 4 beastly creatures came out of the sea. The first 3 looked like different hungry and fierce animals mixed together. But the 4th was the fiercest of them all. It was quite destructive. Oh yes, it had 10 horns, then another horn, then lost 3 horns. But the new horn had eyes like a person. Oh, and a mouth that was really a bit like, well, groundskeeper David. Always going on about himself, but, more braggy. It thought itself to be a very important big shot. I'd be confused by this dream if it were me who was having it, and I suppose Daniel was too. But thankfully, the angel was able to help him understand. The 4 beasts stood for 4 powerful kings who would rule on earth. But no matter how powerful they would be, the only kingdom that would last forever would be God's kingdom. Oh, and remember that braggy horn with the eyes? It stood for an especially terrible king who would speak out against God and treat God's people badly. But we know who wins in the end, don't we? Just when Daniel's dream was at its strangest, there was suddenly order and control. God was on his throne, ready to judge with perfect power. The first 3 beasts surrendered, and the 4th beast was destroyed. God won, his kingdom was coming. Then Daniel saw something rather fantastic, really. Said he saw one who looked like a son of man. He was made king, and rightly so. This was the everlasting king who God had promised David. Daniel watched as people from every nation worshipped him. Did I say who that king was? It weren't smelly old groundkeeper David, I'll tell you that. It was Jesus himself, born in Bethlehem. We celebrate his birth every year. A little holiday, maybe you've heard of it. Christmas. We know that he would grow up and call himself the Son of Man. But Daniel didn't know any of this. He only knew that God would send an everlasting king. You didn't realize that a dream about fierce beasts could be a part of the Christmas story, did ya? Well, it's because the real heart of the story is waiting with hope. Oh, I've got to get back to work. There's so much to do before the king arrives. Oh, good day to you all.